Welcome back, friends. Today, I'm breaking down Mysterious Revival. Starting with 1,000,000,000,000 ghost coins, we open in pure chaos. Blood everywhere. Screams echoing through a dark building, and a blue-haired guy sprinting for his life. A skull-faced octopus creature floats in the hallway like some kind of demented GPS, calmly telling him to turn left and not jump out the window. You know, standard stuff. But our guy, he's already robbing a bank. The Netherworld Bank, to be exact. Rules? He doesn't care about rules. He books it towards the nearest window and launches himself straight through the glass. He crashes to the ground outside. And for 1 second, just one, he thinks he made it. Then a massive fist sends him flying across the pavement. Standing over him is a vampire. Tall, fanged, flanked by 2 more just like him. And this guy delivers the coldest line. Humans who break the rules only get one ending. Death. And after that, you become dinner. Our MC's name is Chen-Mu, and through his internal monologue, we learn the full picture. He's been surviving in this nightmare for 5 years. A post-apocalyptic world overrun by creatures called horrors. Monsters that appeared out of nowhere and turned civilization into a buffet. For 5 years, Chen-Mu lived like a rat, hiding, scrounging, walking on eggshells just to stay breathing. But these horrors have one weakness. They love money, specifically ghost coins, a supernatural currency that even monsters respect. So Chen-Mu hatched a desperate plan. Use an epic-grade spatial ring he got his hands on and rob the Netherworld Bank blind. And it worked. He got the coins, but he broke the rules during his escape, jumped out a window when the system told him not to. And that was it. The vampires caught him, and his 5-year survival streak ended right there. He's falling through darkness, refusing to accept it. After everything he endured, after finally pulling off the impossible heist, this is how it ends. Then something happens. A blinding light from the spatial ring on his finger, and everything goes white. He wakes up slumped over a desk in a classroom. Chen-Mu lifts his head and sees students chatting around him. He hears them talking about a horror scene appearing in their city, about how breaking the rules means losing limbs. Or worse. He spots a calendar on the wall. December 31st, 2024. He's gone back. All the way back to the very beginning of the horror apocalypse. And when he checks his hand, the spatial ring is still there. Every single ghost coin he stole from the Netherworld Bank came back with him. 1,000,000,000,000 ghost coins. In a world where everyone else has nothing. Chen-Mu smirks. This time, things are going to be different. Right on cue, the skull octopus appears, announcing the first horror mission, Midnight Canteen. Everyone chosen must report to the canteen before midnight. A girl nearby, a red-haired classmate, starts panicking, screaming she doesn't want to go. But Chen-Mu already knows what's coming. He remembers this mission from his previous life, and he knows the Midnight Canteen is a dark horse, something that'll be hugely important later. The group gets pulled to the canteen just before the deadline. Some people who didn't make it in time are erased on the spot, disintegrated mid-stride, screaming. Inside the canteen, they're met by the manager, a faceless woman in a suit with blonde hair and dead eyes. She lays down 3 rules. Every guest is a VIP and must be served unconditionally. Nothing in the canteen can be damaged, and no one leaves during working hours. Then the first guest arrives. A massive, spiky-haired horror with glowing red eyes. He takes a seat, glares at the terrified servers, and growls 2 words. Serve the dishes. The red-haired girl jumps in first. She scrubs, she wipes, she does everything the horror wants. And, to everyone's shock, the guest actually tips her. 10 ghost coins, the whole group loses it. Ghost coins are insanely valuable. One of the girls mentions that some rich guy on the outside spent $1 million just to get his hands on 10 of them. They can even make horrors show you mercy, and this creature just tossed them out like pocket change. The green-haired girl turns to Chen-Mu with this smug grin. Good thing I didn't give you this chance. You must be dying of regret. But Chen-Mu says nothing. He just watches. The horror finishes eating and tells the red-haired girl to clear the plate. She picks it up carefully, and right as she turns, the horror sticks his foot out. She trips. The plate shatters. The horror grins. Oh my, you're really clumsy. Pay for it, she snaps back. You tripped me on purpose. And grabs him by the collar. But the blonde manager appears instantly. Cold eyes, zero sympathy. Even if a guest is making things difficult, the rules are still the rules. The girl backs down. She holds up the ghost coins she just earned. Fine, I'll pay. The manager asks if she's sure. She says yes, and that's when the manager smiles. Fool, you just gave up your last chance to live. Each plate in this canteen costs 20 ghost coins. She only has 10. The girl panics. This money could be exchanged for 1 million outside. How can it not buy one plate? But the manager doesn't even blink. We don't care about your human money. The horror starts laughing, clapping his hands, head thrown back. Watching the fear on a human's face is really entertaining. Then he scans the room. Now, who should I pick to serve me next? Everyone shrinks back. Don't pick me. I don't want to either. Then his eyes land on Chenmu. Boy, aren't you scared at all? Chenmu looks right at him. Why should I be? The horror grins and slides the ghost coins forward. You then, come take this plate away. These 10 ghost coins are yours. One of the female co-workers grabs Chenmu's arm. Don't go! He's trying to kill you! Chenmu shrugs her off. Don't worry. I have my own way. He walks up to the horror, takes the ghost coins, looks at the plate sitting on the table, and throws it straight into the ground. It explodes into pieces. The whole room freezes. The red-haired girl, the manager, the horror, all staring in disbelief. The horror bursts out laughing. You don't have enough to pay either. Get ready to die. But Chenmu isn't panicking. He turns to the manager and holds up a ghost coin. Bring me a serving of peanuts. 10 ghost coins. I'll eat it right here. The manager's expression shifts. What do you mean by that? Chenmu smirks. The rules say that as long as you make a purchase, you're a guest of this canteen. And every staff member must fulfill a guest's requests without refusal. So I choose to become a guest, and I demand to refuse compensation. The manager is genuinely impressed. She turns to Chenmu with this wide-eyed look and asks his name. He gives it, cool, unbothered. You flatter me. My name is Chenmu. Meanwhile, the red-haired girl is losing it. She points at the manager and screams, What are you doing? Hurry up, kill him! He broke a plate too. She's trying to get Chenmu punished the same way she's about to be, but the manager shuts that down immediately. She tells the girl she still doesn't understand. Chenmu already used the rules to clear the stage. He's untouchable now. The red-haired girl panics. She yells that she wants to buy something too, that she wants to become a guest. And the manager just looks at her cold and says, I already confirmed it with you. There is no second chance. Done. Door closed. No loophole for her. Now the manager turns back to Chenmu. Do you have any other requests? And that's when he drops the bomb. He tells her, call out your owner. I want to buy this place. Everyone freezes. The manager, the red-haired girl, even the spiky-haired horror who's been sitting there this whole time. The manager stammers, you must be joking. Even with revenue going down, it would take a few million ghost coins to buy this canteen. Chenmu doesn't blink. He pulls out a fat stack of ghost coins and slides them across. I'm not joking. Help me find the owner. This is your tip. The manager stares at the money. 30,000 ghost coins. That's 2 years of her salary, just as a tip. Her eyes light up and she's grinning ear to ear. He's a hidden big shot. The red-haired girl snaps. Chenmu! If you had that much money, why didn't you help me? And he doesn't sugarcoat it. He looks at her and says, you and I are complete strangers. Why should I pay for your mistakes? Cold, but fair. The manager agrees to fetch the owner and then turns to the red-haired girl. As for you, you broke the rules. You have to accept the punishment. The girl starts screaming. I was wrong, Chenmu! Save me, I don't want to die. But the manager's eyes glow red as she drags her away. No mercy. Then the spiky-haired horror guest, the same one who was terrorizing everyone, walks up to Chenmu all nervous. Bro, please don't hold that against me. I'd had too much to drink. Chenmu doesn't even look at him. Get lost. And the horror scrambles out of there like his life depends on it. Because it probably does. Chenmu sits down with the green-haired girl and the brunette co-worker. They're both in shock. One of them mutters, Aren't we supposed to be in a deadly horror mission? The other just stares. How did everything change the moment Chenmu got involved? Then, heavy footsteps. The floor shakes. The manager returns with something behind her. She bows and says one word. Boss. She introduces Chen Mu, and from the shadows, a massive demonic creature steps forward. Red eyes, towering frame, dark energy pouring off its body. It looks down at Chen Mu and speaks. So it's you. Who wants to buy my midnight canteen? The boss wastes no time. He admits the canteen's revenue has dropped, but hypes up its size and location as top tier. Chen Mu nods along, but internally, he's already 10 steps ahead. He knows something the boss doesn't. In his previous life, this struggling little canteen eventually became one of the top hotels in the entire horror world. We're talking tens of billions in value, and this time around, he's grabbing it early. The boss holds up a finger. 7 million ghost coins, and the midnight canteen is yours. Manager Lee whispers from the side. Isn't that a bit steep? Can this place really go for 7 million? The boss starts sweating, thinking he aimed too high. He quickly backtracks. If 7 million doesn't work, they can negotiate, but Chen Mu shuts that down cold. No need. I'll pay 8 million. Let's close the deal right now. 8 million. 1 million over asking. The boss and Manager Lee are stunned. But Chen Mu has one condition. All the canteen staff stay with him. The boss can't take a single one. And here's where it gets good. The boss was already planning to ditch the staff and skip town on their back wages. He's thrilled. No employees to pay, no debt to settle. He agrees instantly. Manager Lee asks about the money transfer. And Chen Mu doesn't hesitate. Today, cash. He pulls out his spatial ring and dumps 8 million ghost coins right onto the table. Bills rain across the floor. The boss nearly falls over. Manager Lee stares wide-eyed. He just casually pulled out 8 million like it was nothing. The contract comes out. The boss signs, slides the paper to Chen Mu. The moment Chen Mu puts pen to paper, supernatural energy surges through the room. A rule-bound connection forms, the same kind of bond as his spatial ring. Chen Mu can feel it. The midnight canteen is now officially his. Both sides walk away thinking they fleeced the other. The boss is laughing. He unloaded a failing canteen for 8 million and dodged the staff's wages. Chen Mu is smirking. He just secured a horror scene that'll be worth tens of billions in the future. Both of them are thinking the same thing. Made a killing. The boss shakes Chen Mu's hand and bounces. Chen Mu immediately turns to Manager Lee. He's the owner now, so he's revising the rules, starting with the horror mission itself. He checks the clock. 12:29. He declares the mission ends at 12:30. Manager Lee doesn't argue. You're the boss. Change whatever you want. Just like that, the classmates who were trapped in this nightmare are free to leave. The green-haired girl and her brunette friend thank Chen Mu on the way out. If it weren't for him, they'd never have made it out alive. He barely acknowledges it. He's already moved on. Chen Mu tells Manager Lee to gather all the kitchen staff. Full meeting in 10 minutes, and what a crew it is. The kitchen is packed with horror creatures, horned demons, a crocodile, a hamster in a chef's hat, a rabbit, all kinds of monstrous beings. Chen Mu introduces himself. Your old boss sold you and this canteen to me. From today, I'm in charge. The staff couldn't care less. One of them speaks up. Doesn't matter who it is. They're just beasts of burden. The whole group stands there, dead-eyed and defeated. That's when Chen Mu changes everything. He snaps his fingers, and a massive stack of ghost coins materializes on the counter. He tells them, I know the old boss owed you 6 months of wages. I'm different. He points at the money. All your back pay, right there. Manager Lee will hand it out. And as long as you keep working for me, your salary will be paid on time, every single month from now on. The kitchen erupts. The horned demon throws his fists in the air. One creature shouts that they can finally save up to get married. The hamster is cheering. They're all screaming, Boss, you're my god. And Chen Mu just stands there with that signature smirk. A bit of money to earn their eternal loyalty. And he has the old boss to thank for setting it up so perfectly. Chen Mu walks away from the canteen, and his staff waves him off. Take care, boss. But his mind is already running calculations. Even though owning the canteen gave him a bit of scene power, he's only at ghost soldier level. If he runs into a higher level horror out here on the streets, he's dead. No tricks, no loopholes, just dead. He needs life-saving gear, and he needs it tonight. Then a purple taxi screeches to a halt in front of him. It's late. Way too late for any normal cab to be running. But Chen Mu gets in anyway, tells the driver to take him to Wangjiang Estate, and settles into the back seat. That's when things get wrong. The speedometer is maxed out. The scenery outside is a blur. And there's this faint smell, the smell of blood. He looks down. Bloody handprints smeared across the seat. Chen-Mu's expression doesn't change. He just smirks. Looks like I've stumbled into another moving horror scene. The Nether Taxi. And then he drops a piece of knowledge that explains exactly how terrifying this world really is. In the horror apocalypse, humans face 3 major threats. The first is horror missions. Forced events like the Midnight Canteen, where you get dragged in and have to survive. The second is vicious horrors, disguised as ordinary people, luring you into horror scenes before you even realize what's happening. And the third? The one you can't guard against at all. Horror scenes you stumble into without knowing. By the time you notice, it's already too late. But Chen-Mu isn't panicking. Because in his last life, he heard the rules for the Nether Taxi. Pay the ghost coin fare and you leave safely. Can't pay? Jump out before the car speeds up, or you become the horror's next meal. And the upside is massive. The Nether Taxi is insanely fast, and while you're inside, you're immune to every other horror's attacks. The taxi rockets to Wangjiang Estate in seconds. Then the driver turns around. It's a skeleton, wearing a suit and a bow tie. Green light glowing from its empty eye sockets. We're here. Pay up. 10,000 ghost coins. Chen-Mu reacts like a regular person would, shocked. 10,000? That's so expensive. The skeleton grins. If you've got no money, don't blame me for what happens next. But Chen-Mu isn't scared. He leans forward with a smirk. No eyes and you can still drive this fast? Truly a veteran driver. The skeleton snaps. Cut the crap. If you can't pay the fare, then die. Chen-Mu slaps a fat stack of ghost coins on the dashboard. Who said I can't pay? Here, I dare to offer it. Do you dare to take it? The skeleton freezes. Sweat drops rolling down bare bone. This brat actually has 10,000 ghost coins? Then Chen-Mu flips the whole game. He points behind the skeleton at the meter. The one the skeleton deliberately blocked with its own body. The real fare? 10 ghost coins. Not 10,000. 10 Chen-Mu breaks the scam down cold. The skeleton blocked the meter, quoted 1,000 times the actual price, and was banking on the passenger not being able to pay, giving it a justified excuse to eat them. Chen-Mu calls it out to its face. The skeleton is speechless. Just who is this kid? It's only been a month since the apocalypse started. How can he understand scene rules this well? But Chen-Mu isn't done. He pays the real 10-coin fare, and then waves the full 10,000 ghost coins right in front of the skeleton's face. No need to rush. Don't these ghost coins tempt you? The skeleton tries to play it cool. Even if I want them, you think you can really give them to me? Chen-Mu's grin widens. Of course I can. I'll even add another 10,000. The skeleton's composure cracks completely. A little chibi panel shows its soul being corroded by money. Hearts and dollar signs floating around its skull. Chen-Mu lays out the offer, 20,000 ghost coins right now. And the same amount every single month, as long as the skeleton agrees to his terms. The skeleton stares at him. One word, what terms?
Thank you for watching. Do like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.